Alright, today's screencast is going to be pretty quick and to the point. Since the Timthumb vulnerability was discovered and announced a few weeks ago, it's gotten a lot of press, which is great, but it's also been used like crazy. I've cleaned up more hacks related to the Timthumb exploit in the last couple of weeks than probably I have cleaned up total in the past, in the 2 months before that. It's getting used a lot. People aren't sure how to get it cleaned up and what they need to be doing. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to know if you're using Timthumb, if your theme is using Timthumb. Now, the best way to do this is going to be to use an automatic or a scanning script of some sort that'll scan your whole server and find any Timthumb scripts on your server. And I'll link to one of those in the description of this video. If you're not comfortable with that, and some people aren't, you can actually just have a look at your theme and find out if at least the visible part of your theme is using Timthumb pretty easily. So I've got a test install here, and as you can see, I've got one post and it's got a little thumbnail here. Now, the fact that I have a thumbnail is a good indicator that I might be using Timthumb, because that's what Timthumb is used for. So in order to see if this file, if this thumbnail is using Timthumb, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to go to Open Image in New Tab. If we go to that new tab, the first warning sign is that the tab is titled Timthumb.php. But that's not always going to happen. So if you look at the URL here, okay, here's my URL. This is on my local install, but WP Content Themes 2010. I'm going to look for this question mark here. So I found the question mark. I'm going to look at the file name right before that. And look at that. It's Timthumb.php. Now, it's not going to be Timthumb.php in every script. It might just be Thumb.php. It could be some variant of those words, but if you see something called Thumb.php or Timthumb.php, chances are that you are using Timthumb. So the next question is, how do I find out if my install of Timthumb is vulnerable? If it's one of the versions that still has problems and can be hacked. Fortunately, that's not as hard as you might think. I'm logged into my admin area over here, and I'm going to go to, under my appearance editor, or my appearance tab, I'm going to go down to editor, and I'm going to look in the templates files here. I can see down at the bottom I have Timthumb.php. Again, that might just be called Thumb.php. Now, in some themes, this is in a separate folder called the script folder. Or it may be in a folder called scripts or something like that. If you don't see it here, you're probably going to need to log in via FTP and kind of dig around looking for it. If you're not familiar with how to do that, I've got a couple other videos that talk about how to access your WordPress site through FTP, so you might want to check those out. And that pulls it up here. So this is the actual Timthumb script that might have vulnerability in it. If I scroll down, I'm going to look for a specific block of code, and that is this allowed sites. It's actually an array, but if you look in your Timthumb.php file and you see allowed sites with a $sign in front of it, then you are almost certainly vulnerable. Okay guys, sorry to interrupt and jump in here, but I have to clarify something because I made this far too confusing, or I didn't clear this up, and at the end of the video it gets confusing. This is the allowed sites you're looking for. It's lowercase, there's no underscore in between, and it's camel case, so the first letter of the second word is upper case. If you see this version, it's all in uppercase, it's got an underscore between the words. That one is good. This is okay. This means your script is okay and doesn't need to be upgraded. This one is bad. This one means your script does need to be upgraded. So Lowercase is bad, uppercase is good. The easier way, which I mentioned at the end of the video, if you look up towards the top of the file and you see something that says version equals 2.8 or greater than 2.8, then you are fine. So hopefully that clears that up. Sorry guys. So you need to update your script. In order to do that, it's pretty easy. You need to go to this address, and I will put this in the comments as well, or in the description as well. That's going to pull up the latest version of Timthumb. This one has the problems fixed, so it's safe to use. So I'll go back to my my theme editor. I'm just going to select all, and I'm going to paste because I copied it from over there. So now if we look here, we've got some new code, but nowhere does this say, does it say allowed sites in the same way that the old one did. This one is capitalized. It's different. So anyway, we've replaced that. It doesn't. We know it doesn't say allowed sites in the same way the old one did. The file looks different. You can look up at the top. This is version 2.8, which is a safe version. So we just need to update the file. If we go back and look at our theme, our thumbnail still works. So all we did was replace the file. Now we're safe. The thumbnail still works, and we're good to go. So that's that. Good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.